What is up, guys? Zach in here.
Rick in here.
And welcome to day 2 of our $100,000 per month scaling guide today, where we're going to show you exactly how to scale your real estate wholesaling business to $100,000 per month. This is a $10,000 Guru Yacht boot camp type seminar that we're showing you exactly how to get it going absolutely for free. This is going to be the ultimate guide today. We're going over systems implementation today, and we're going to break down exactly everything you need to know about the exact actionable steps you need to take to go from about 100K a year to 100K per month. This is exciting, guys, because this is the stuff nobody teaches. They charge you all this money for to learn, and we're going to break down absolutely for free. So are you excited to teach everyone systems implementation today?
I'm excited about the throw up 20 years like all over you. So like take note, because I'm telling you, I did this all the hard way.
Yeah.
He got to see the tail end of it. And I'm here to tell you, if I can save someone from all the aggravations, because I just see so many people out there like, you got to follow my system and you got to, guys, listen, you can pay for it. You can get it for free. The thing is you're paying for the experience. So we're going to break it down, simplify it, and then you can kind of make decisions what route you want to go.
Exactly. So if you're ready to go learn systems exactly, we're going to break it all down today. Exactly. Remember, guys, if you have not gone the first step of it, just look at the playlist at the end of this video or in the description below, and we'll break down yesterday's video on there for you today. So if you're ready to go, if you're jacked up right now, do us a big favor and smash that like button and subscribe to get the most free value from us. And without further ado, let's go. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Get you going.
I get it going, man.
Every
I love it
time.
every time.
Let's go. So, guys, we're bringing it out today. So let's cut the fluff. You know, this ain't a $10,000 course. Do we act like we're on a stage? I didn't bring my suit. Are we okay? You didn't bring your suit jacket. How are people going to think you're cool?
I don't know.
What are we going to do?
What I just don't understand, like the jacket thing. Like, honestly, we all get into wholesaling so we can get out of the monkey suits.
Oh my God.
And then the first thing like a guru does, he puts on like a monkey suit. I'm more impressed with a guy in a t-shirt that can talk from authority from what they actually like do with it. So should I get the jacket? We should have wore a jacket.
No, it's fine. So guys, we're going to break it down like we're on a stage here teaching you. So let me put on my Rolex, put my jacket on, put your jacket on. We're all ready to go, you know, because we're guru.
You're looking at my jacket.
We're ready to go. So let's get it going, guys. 100K a month systems guide. Let's break it down. So number 1, today we are on day 2. So what we're going to teach today, we're going to be breaking down our systems implementation today on day 2. So basically, we're going to first be hiring. So we're going to break down, you're going to start hiring people to do what you do, just slowly until you're not in the business anymore. So figure out basically what you're doing in the business this week at 100K a year, and then start hiring people so we slowly get out of that system.
Keyword is slowly. You're not changing everything overnight. This is a process.
Yes.
Because you still got to keep the revenue coming in and running your business. You can't just hand the keys over and walk away. You're not set up for that.
No, not yet. So the one thing you got to understand, this is always a funny picture, but it's absolutely true.
Is that me on the right?
I guess so. I guess I'm the left. But you have to understand wholesaling real estate like basically a mini-me to a point. So you're going to be on the right, and your employees that you're hiring for your system are going to be on your left. What you have to understand is it's going to be your mini-me. Does that mean they're going to be as effective as you? No. But they're going to be pretty close, like 70, 60% of you. And that is the best you can do. So understand, you would rather get 100% of You'd rather get 60% of $5 million than 100% of $1 million. And effectively, the mini-me is going to be running your operations because they're basically you, your mindset, your systems. They're not going to be as good as you, but you can't do everything together. You can't be on the phone 25 hours a day, but your employees can. And that is basically the point. And it's kind of funny, but it's the absolute truth. You are going to look for your mini-me. So you look for a cold caller. You're going to make that person you, a mini you, when it comes to cold calling. Like that is the point. That's exactly how we do it. So let's break down some systems implementation. So what we're going to break down today exactly is who to hire, how to hire, the order of the hiring when it comes to your systems, how to train your employees effectively in wholesaling real estate, how to actually manage them the right way, the 4 types of meetings you have to have with your operations, how to create goals and systems, especially with your employees, and lastly, how to actually run these operations. So let's break down number 1, who to hire, right? And that's a pretty effective one, right? Like, who are we supposed to hire first? Like, what are the hires? So number 1, we kind of look like who to hire. We kind of see the hierarchy chart we talked about yesterday, the business structure. And we see here, we got us on the top, a COO, marketing, acquisitions, dispositions. Really, you have to make this chart for your business. Maybe you have a lot of other type of VAs. You have a door knocking person that you put in marketing. They're not a VA. Maybe you don't. You have cold callers. You should put it right there. Maybe you have a driving for dollars person. Like, you have to shift it to your operations. Use this as a guide. Acquisitions managers. So these are the people you got to hire. Kind of we talked about yesterday. So that being said, let's see exactly how it's going to be. So number 1, the first hire, who we're going to have to hire is basically delegating your marketing, right?
Exactly.
And so you got to delegate probably the least important task. So delegate your least important task. Most likely starting out is going to be your cold calling. Your marketing is going to have to be first, kind of like I said. And most likely this first hire is going to be a virtual assistant. So number 1, how to hire these people, right? We recommend Upwork or onlinejobs.ph, right? And that's how we actually hire these people. We're not big fans of these Fiverr or VA services. I think number 1 is if you have a coach or a guru type guy that has a VA service, not knocking these people, but they're using their operations. And a lot of these gurus are frauds. So if they're doing their type of cold calling, which effectively is not that good, they're training them themselves, and you don't want that, right? So we don't want to use their service. We don't like the Fiverr people. We just have not found them effective. I think you know this better than anyone, but like, if your VA is marketing you to hire them, it's probably not a good VA, or there's a reason why they can't find work.
Let me tell you, I've seen some VAs, like, they are
aggressive,
resourceful, aggressive, and you think, I go, wow, that'd be the perfect fit. No. It's actually the opposite. They're out there chasing thousands of wholesalers, and they're really not going to be loyal to you in my experience.
You really don't want that. So no, you just no. Acquisitions managers, we prefer they're local, right? I think a local person in your network is probably gonna be your best acquisitions manager, right?
It's really the best way. There's nothing about, just trying to get to know people, and then it's just, I'd like to be able to click a button and just have them drop anywhere from the country. But the reality is, this person's going to be an integral part of how successful. It's really, I'm not going to say make or break your business, but it's either going to be wildly successful or marginal and losing money. If you don't have, let's face it, I was my own acquisitions manager for 7 years. I hired him to be my acquisitions manager, coming up as like 16. I'm just here to tell you, it's
a little different than that, but yeah,
a little bit different. But I'm just saying is, you have to have like key people, and you got to have someone that just loves talking to people and really enjoys the quest of what I call like conquering people, meaning trying to put win-win deals together. And it's critical. So local people that love to talk, people that love the thrill of the chase. And it's not for everybody.
Exactly. So we recommend, bartenders, salespeople, if you have to. Indeed, we're not the biggest Indeed people, but if you have to, sure, right? Dispositions, we sort of like realtors that have ambition, usually younger people, right? Not making a ton of money as realtors, but we can pay them well, and they'd be realtors on the side, right? Yeah. COO is really going to be an implementer you see in the business. Obviously spelled that wrong, because why not? So what is the order of the hiring, right? So this is basically the system we recommend on the order you should be hiring at. Number 1 is marketing. I would tell you right now, first 1 to 3 months, or basically scaling up from 10K a month to 30K a month, should just be hiring your marketing people, right? Your VAs, list pulling, things like that. Number 2 should be your dispositions, maybe a transaction coordinator. They can kind of be the same thing if you pay them enough, right? 3 to 6 months, start doing 10 plus deals a month. This is really when you start hiring that. Then lastly, acquisitions person, 6 to 12 months, and then a COO wants to hit $50,000 to $75,000 per month of profit. And let's break down first, because the one thing got lost. I don't know why that one slide got lost. Something got eaten by the metaverse. I don't know what to tell you, but one thing I'll tell you is how to train your marketing, right? And the one thing we have done with training our marketing is not like how we train you guys wholesaling. It's kind of weird the way we do it, but what we've done training you guys has been very effective, right? We have a lot of people doing well. I first started doing this type of training system, like with the slideshows and talking about things when I was in college, just teaching my cold callers how to do it, right? So what did I do? How do I teach you guys how to cold call, right? I cold call live. I click record and I start cold calling and I start closing, right? I did that in 2018 in my college dorm. I started closing people virtually. I just recorded it and then just sent that into like a little unlisted YouTube video in a module. And then I just sent that out to the VAs to learn. Like I released a virtual wholesaling, me closing a deal over the phone. And that was something I had recorded in the archives forever. And I released to you guys, but like I have like 15, 20 of those of just me closing deals, and I protect the names and everything, but that's how we do it. We do Zoom trainings and everything like that. The point here is if you're going out here and training your acquisitions people, your cold callers, have you cold calling them and then them kind of role playing with you, and then have little modules of you teaching them. That's going to be the most effective way to do it with their marketing, right? And like, for example, for the list pulling, how we teach our probates, like in our county, I spent 2 hours like 3 years ago on a screen share of me just pulling probates in my county, showing exactly how to do it. And that was like 2 or 3 hours, but I showed effectively how to do it. Once you basically give that to a VA, pretty easy to do. So that's really what we recommend. When I hire people to do like the bandit signs for us, I would literally create a map of where to put the bandit signs effectively. It's kind of like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, right?
Yep.
You got to show them. And that's the most effective part. So that is basically how the order of hiring should be. So how do you train the acquisitions managers, right? This is a lot more intense, right? We recommend the 3-3-3 approach. A lot of people who follow us know this, but we'll explain it one more time. The 3-3-3 approach is basically we have 3 deals on acquisitions manager. They basically watch me or someone else close 3 deals in front of them. And then 3 deals, the acquisition sees us closing with them, 50-50 approach, 3 deals. Then lastly, 3 deals, the acquisitions manager closes in front of you of at least 3 deals. The point is in our business, we're averaging $50,000, $60,000 per deal. I need an acquisitions manager to close at least 3 of these deals for us. Absolutely, like in front of us. So we know that we can actually trust them with that, right?
Someone's asking if this is live or pre-recorded.
It drives me crazy. I always get asked that. You know, this is pre-recorded. Okay. Fine. All right.
Guys, it's a lot of information, so we have to get through it so we can help everybody out with the one-on-one.
But I'll just tell them it's 5:21 p.m. Eastern Standard. So whatever. All right. So I gotta flex on the people with the fake live. So we're live. Are we live in the comments? I think we're live in the comments.
Live in the comments.
All right. So let's break it down. All right. So management.
Live in the comments.
Let's break down the management side. And management's a very, very tough piece to learn, like starting out, right? But there's some management tools we can give to you, right? So number 1 is don't overmanage, right?
Yeah, listen, I broke this rule.
I broke this rule.
Well, the problem is you want to be in control of everything. Like that's why a lot of people got in the wholesaling. And I'm here to tell you, there's at some point you have to actually let control go. So you got to learn through delegation, but you're not going to be in control of everything, but you are in control of everything. So it's kind of weird, but you got to let people go out. You got to give them the tools. You got to educate them on exactly step by step what to do. And you're going to have to let them, and sometimes they're going to fail. And your ability to autocorrect them, kind of like your iPhone does, you can't do it. You got to let them make a mistake and let them kind of sit in it. And then the key is you have to lead by example. You can't just sit there and bring them in like you did in the principal's office.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in my principal's office. Is you have to lead. So when they have challenges, you basically can call a customer back and then you do it and you teach with them, but do not sit there and interrupt them in the middle of anything they're doing unless it's a matter of killing the business or hurting somebody.
Exactly. So just don't overmanage your employees.
Painful.
What I've learned is, I mean, trusting your employees, but the one thing I've learned that's gonna be the best success here is trust first, but always verify. You gotta let some employees make mistakes. One way you teach employees not just say. Sometimes they have to go out here and make a mistake on their cold call, and that's how they learn.
Yeah.
People learn in different ways.
Well, some people, the fee is like, here's how you look at it. The employee makes some mistakes. Sometimes they're financial. Like there's some contracts we just have to get out because they don't work.
Yeah.
And usually in the first 3 months you find that out. But say a year into it or 6 months in, they make a mistake and you're stuck with it. And maybe you're forced to buy a property you didn't even want to, or you have to negotiate your way out of it. You got to look, that is a life lesson for that employee, and either they learn from it and the value follows forward to your company. If you fire them, you got to start over and you can potentially make that mistake again and again. Sometimes you think firing people solves it. I'm here to tell you, sometimes, unless it's an ethical or a serious financial consequence, you're better off letting them learn from it and empowering them so they don't make that mistake. And that's a better employee in the long run.
Oh yeah, 100% here. Just so I understand, first trust, but then verify. And then we record all of our lives with our employees basically through 2 platforms. Marketing, cold calling, they're basically going through zachdialer.com because we record all their calls, watch them live, and make sure. One big tip I can give to you for cold callers, because cold calling is so important in our business, which I've done since I first hired people for cold calling. I'm crazy. I know I'm an insane person. So just that being said, everyone knows I'm insane and cuckoo. But I actually, like, every 1,000 like contacts they have, one of them is actually going to be me personally, like no one else, no acquisition manager, no one, not you, me. So when they have to call, a percentage of those calls, they know within a week, they're probably gonna have to call me once. So when they make like 1,000 dials, they don't know if the next call is gonna be Zach Ginn because it's a fake name. Oh my God, it's gonna be Zach. It's gonna be the boss. I'm cold calling. I'm telling you, you're gonna be on edge. I learned this when I worked at a grocery store. Right, we had mystery shoppers, and the cool part is like the head manager for the county or region would be like a mystery shopper. And the cool part about it is like, you don't know if you're like ringing up that person. And if you're in a bad attitude, you're fired. Right. Yeah. And that's pretty interesting. I kind of use that there where if you have a VA, and I used to have VAs like just random, like, like I'm at the beach or something, and then I see it's that call, I'll answer it. And there's like a rooster in the back. There's a baby crying. I'm like, hey, Tamara.
Yeah. But,
and then boom, they're fired. Right. And then sometimes I get a call. I'm like, wow, this person's closing me. Right. It's very important to have them on edge to a point where they sort of look at that, but like not too crazy to a point, but it works really well.
Yeah. The data doesn't lie to you. When I had a corporate job, you ready for this? They would call each of the locations and do a customer service. And then once every 2 months, they'd have a conference and they bring in, like 500 employees.
Yeah.
And then they would play like 10 of them. And when it was your office and it was you literally wanted to crawl on the desk. Now, the problem with that is you embarrass people so bad, they just don't want to work for you and they quit anymore.
No, you don't embarrass.
I think there's better ways to sit down, but like, here's the thing, a recorded call, when we had the ability to do that on a small company scale, it changed the game because like the data doesn't lie to you. Like it is what it is. You can't sit there and spin it either way. Either you tried to get the deal or you just weren't nice to the customer. So it's integral. And like the thing is, it doesn't really cost a lot to do it anymore. And it's how you keep your employees honest. And guys, remember, we pay a lot of money, put a lot of energy in finding these leads. If you're going to delegate that task when you get to that point, it's everything. You have to do it. Do not avoid it because it's going to be problematic. You can find out how often they're answering the calls, how much time they're spending with them. You can get so much data from it. Don't overlook it.
Exactly.
Game changer when that happened. And I hate that word, but I'm telling you, probably one of the biggest innovations to manage your sales force, because before that, only large corporations could do it because it was very expensive.
I agree. That's why I like Zach Dialer. And then basically we use CallRail for acquisitions people. All of our postcards. Basically, our follow-up calls are all recorded through CallRail for quality assurance for ourselves. Now, once you start getting this business, you are literally going to do 4 types of meetings. These are the 4 meetings you're going to have with your entire staff and systems. You're going to have daily meetings, you're going to have weekly meetings, and then quarterly meetings and yearly meetings. Have the COO do the daily meetings, not you. Weekly meetings, quarterly meetings, and then yearly meetings. That is the effective way to do it. And you're going to have goals on these meetings, right? So number 1 on these goals, you're going to have to be realistic.
But stretch.
I think if you're too crazy with your goal, you're just not going to have
10 million. We're doing 10 million this year.
Make 10 million in a week. It's not going to be well. Have realistic goals once you start. Don't hit
a million first.
If you don't meet those goals, it's not going to do well. So be realistic with them. Small growth in short times is going to be the best way. Focus on profit versus deals. Like I kind of said yesterday, it's better to do 3 $50,000 deals than 20 $2,000 deals, right? The deals thing's overhyped. It's how much profit you're going to keep at the end of the day.
Because you can do a deal and not make money. That's a
yeah.
little secret people won't share with you. So I only do deals that make massive amounts of money, but I've been doing this a long time. But guys, you didn't get in this business to work for free. So I don't care how many deals you do. The question is, how profitable are you? And what are you doing with your time getting into wholesaling? Do you want to spend more time with your family? Do it. That's the beauty of this business. You cater to how you want to rule your lifestyle.
Exactly. And then let's break down some of the tools we actually use when it comes to implementing the systems. We've kind of talked about this before, but we'll break it down real quick. Number 1, we use CallRail. We use Podio for our CRM.
Podio.
Everyone's just like, you got to use this $5,000 a month CRM. We go promote my CRM. No, I use Podio. Everyone's like, but Zach, when you're doing your SMS texting, why don't you push the call to put the lead into Podio? Guess what happens when I'm cold calling and I have a good lead and I push it to Podio? Ready? John Smith, 123 Main Street. What are the notes? What's the dog's name? Why do they want to sell? You're literally clicking a button and it just goes in the Podium. Now your acquisitions manager doesn't know anything, right?
Yeah.
It's guys, manually put in the notes on Podio. I promise you, if you have that many leads where your cold caller has 10, this is pushing it. 10 extremely motivated sellers a day from cold calling. That person needs to be paid a lot more, right?
Yeah.
Guys, you're gonna get 2 or 3 at most from a cold caller. It's not that hard. It is very simple, guys. So Podio is all you need. I don't care what you say. Oh, we have too many leads. Well, you don't have enough cold callers then. Google Drive and Sheets is where we put a lot of our stuff. Do not put all your marketing lists on an Excel that you have backed up on a computer and then the power goes off and the whole, the hard drive gets shot. You don't want to deal with that. It gets water damage or whatever. Keep it on the cloud. That's a game changer from me. One thing I always do is what I like is I travel places too. And then sometimes I'm at home. I'll go to your house. I'll be in the studio, different places. I can pull up anywhere in the world. I could literally go to a library in New Mexico and pull up my Google account and my marketing list there. I could do it on my phone. It's just the cloud is so effective. So Google Drive and Google Sheets is definitely probably the most important one. We can collaborate on the sheets. ZachDollar.com, like we said, for the cold calling systems. ZachData.com, really for comping, for a lot of virtual stuff too. We like it for cash buyer data, and we do pull some lists from Zach Data. A majority of our lists are from ListREI.com when it comes to the Drawing for Dollars, Drawing for Dollars app with ListREI.com, basically pulling our direct mail stuff. And there's some other stuff on there, the pre-probate zombie properties, PropStream, ListREI.com. MailingMastery.com, that is our number 1 marketing channel. Our postcards, just go to MailingMastery.com. That's the postcard we use, our system, all that stuff. It is all in there, guys. And then basically government websites for pulling the probates. I always look at the property appraiser for everything permits. Really, we love Batch, we love PropStream, we love the services, but those services aren't going to tell you how old the roof is. And really asking the seller is going to be the best one. But for most places, you go to the property appraiser and see when the permits are pulled for the roof. That's going to be the closest you're going to figure it out. So it is essential still. I don't care what service you have. You're still going to need to use that. And then lastly here, the MLS. We love the MLS for comping. We have access to it to do it. It is the best comping tool we can find. find great cash buyers from it. Not everyone has that. So Zach Data is probably the closest thing you can get to it, but that's what we use. So let's kind of break down exactly running the operations, right? Basically how we run it is we're going to slowly, again, like I feel like we're repeating ourselves a lot, but honestly, it's very, very simple scaling the operations. It takes time, obviously, but it is very, very simple. We're going to slowly hire out the tasks that you do, and we're going to slowly hire that out, right? And that's going to be very important. We're going to be focused on adding more lists and systems. Sort of what I mean by this is when you're running one operation, like a one-man operation, one-woman operation, you can only cold call a certain amount of lists, right? You don't have enough bandwidth, right?
Mm-hmm.
The point of hiring people is you can add your bandwidth on there.
Exactly.
It's very hard to cold call all the high equities, all the arrest records, all the fire damage properties, all the water shutoffs, all the probates. Like it's every type of motivated seller list. It is very hard to do all of it. But the point is you get cold callers, acquisition staff, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more simpler to do. So that is definitely the point here, guys and gals. You want to start scaling that out. And that is the point. One thing we've done really well in our operations is we've always experimented. And I cannot stress this enough. Experimenting is probably going to be the most profitable thing we've ever done, especially in like high level stuff. For example, when SMS text blasting came out, that was experimental for us, right? Mm-hmm. And we eventually put it in the business, right?
We tested it.
Trying the pre-probate list out.
Yep.
That was an experiment. Worked well. But we've tried some things that did not go well, right? So I'm telling you guys, about 10 to 20% of those experiments are going to do well. But when they do, you find something that works well, you're going to have to go after it very hard. And that's something that we always do. We always talk about. So always experiment. If you know a list works, you may need to hire more people just to do that list and just go harder on that list. So always experiment on there and then find your VAs for it. One lesson I've learned, you've learned this too, but never stop marketing, right?
Yeah.
Never stop.
It's like taking all the blood out of your veins. It's just a matter of time before you're dead. So I'm just telling you, you can put all this great stuff in there. I don't care if you're just starting out, if you've got like 5 or 6 deals in there. The minute you stop marketing, you might get some residual leads, but eventually you will run dry and you will be out of business. It doesn't see in wholesaling, the only downside of business, we don't get repeat customers like realtors do. Now, I've gotten repeat customers. I've been doing this 20 years, but I'm telling you, for the most part, most of them are kind of one and done. So the downside of wholesaling is you constantly have to keep marketing. The upside is you make phenomenal amount of money and you control everything. But I'm telling you guys, the minute you think you're smart and you can stop marketing and you can just get leads and do nothing, you're done. So I'm just telling you, I'm in it 20 years. I never, ever stop marketing. I don't care if you pay for it or you do it manually. You have to keep it going. You should do a combo of both if you have the ability to do it.
Exactly. And here, just understand, guys and gals, there's going to be good days and bad days, especially scaling in your business.
I thought it was all just peaches.
It's not all peaches and cream sometimes. Just understand that, like, it's how you deal with those days that make you the best. Remember, guys, your employees are humans.
What?
Like, they're not robots.
I wish they were robots.
People do. And the truth is, you got to treat them with dignity and respect. They're human beings. I don't care if they're from the Philippines. They're not. They're people you got to treat well. And lastly, figure out what drives your employees. A lot of people aren't driven just by money. It's how they're treated too. So just understand that too.
Now, like simple things, birthdays, holidays.
Recognition.
Yeah.
Right?
Talking about their families. We always talk about the why in it for you, but the minute you bring on a team, your why has to expand and you got to find out what drives them. And you will be surprised. I recently talked to an employee in another business that I know well, and the employee is leaving because they feel like a highly paid employee is leaving because they didn't get a birthday card or an acknowledgement of their birthday. I mean, like people sometimes they value that more than money because it just feels good. They did a study on employees and they said the number one reason employees leave is because they just don't feel appreciated. And appreciation, honestly, just takes a little bit of time and energy. It's not a money thing.
Yeah.
So money is important. Don't get me wrong. But if you think you can pay them and not do that part, they think you're a robot. And then, there's what the shoe
fits.
the shoe fits on the other foot. It's the same type of deal. Like it's a human trait, guys. People like to be recognized and just be compensated with thank yous and we appreciate you and, give them a little time off here and stuff like that. So don't overlook it. It's free. Like a birthday card might cost you $4 or $5, but it's kind of like The Office. They don't have like a birthday party cake every time they have it. It's like you gotta. So if you think kind of like The Office, all the employees, we're just showing you how to do this without driving yourself crazy. There's so many people out there showing you how to scale systems and how to do this and that. I saw somebody, they were talking about having 4 or 5 meetings a day. I didn't get in the wholesaling to sit in an office all day, 5-6 days a week. I'm the complete opposite, but you can still scale your system to do the stuff that is monotonous and redundant. And it's going to take you some time, and then you slowly back out the room. This is not like an overnight fix.
Exactly. So just understand that. So basically, this is, again, the 100K a month wholesaling system. You got your COO, your marketing, acquisitions, dispositions. You got your VA marketing managers. You got your cold calling, your SMS VAs, your list pulling VAs, and then your acquisitions team. Remember, you got your dispo too. You got your agents and your cash buyer VA. That is what it is. So this is, again, how much we pay everybody. How do I get that out of the way? Just so you understand the systems one last time. That is how much you pay. 10% base for the COO, $50 per deal, and then $200 a week for the VA marketing manager. $25 an appointment, $40 per deal, then $4-5-ish an hour, and then our list pulling VA is around $6 an hour. Acquisitions manager, they get paid the most pretty much out of the employees, 10% of the deal, and then roughly 8% for our dispo. And then the dispo person, if they're listing it, usually 8. If it's just regular assignment, maybe a little less. Then the cash buyer VA is roughly about $6 an hour, and they get about $20 per qualified cash buyer. Just remember, guys, this is going to be your action plan. This is what I have everyone starting out if you're wanting to scale. So number one,
A lot of information.
it's a lot of info, but this is a 3-day seminar.
I know. We're just squeezing it, guys. It's recorded, so like if you feel like your lead's breaking or Zach's talking too fast, you can pause and go back to the recorded session.
Yeah, and we've got 3 days of this, so it's definitely powerful. Make a list of all your daily and weekly schedules of your activities. Find out exactly what marketing activities you're doing right now. Your list pulling, cold calling, SMS, all of it, right? Figure out what can be delegated first and easiest and start hiring from there. Then just keep delegating until you scaled up your operations to 100K a year. So that is day 2 systems implementation. Tomorrow with you is going to be all about exactly how to get yourself out of the business once you get the thing running pretty smoothly. Your parachute out so you work 5 hours a week at most in the operations, and then that'll be the most effective part for you. So again, guys, we teach this business absolutely for free. We love talking to you guys one-on-one. So we're into some one-on-one calls today too. See how we can help you guys out here and break it all down. So a couple questions we're going to break down really quick. David says, you guys recommend hiring VAs around $4 to $6 an hour, but won't be able to find that in the USA. That's the point.
Yeah.
We find people from the Philippines, India.
You're not going to find them in the USA for that. And honestly, you guys got to take note of the geographic location of your VAs. I'm going to give you a quick cheat sheet of my experience with VAs. Philippines is wonderful for like back-end office tasks. Any type of list accumulation or any type of like scraping.
Yeah.
Philippines is perfect for it. They're meant for it. They're very diligent in doing the task. And remember, they're 11 to 13 hours time difference. So while you're sleeping at night, they're preparing the list. So if you're going to like cold call or do marketing activities next day, it's great to go. I'm going to tell you right now, I pretty much stopped there with VAs from the Philippines because it's just, here's the truth. It's spotty internet service. I get a lot of drama, and I know it's not just me. There's a lot of people else out there. Now, great if you find someone in the US, you're not going to find that number. The South America is great because it's only like you can be like a 3, maybe 4 hour time range.
And Americans are used to a Spanish accent.
Yeah. And their accents are they're fluent in English, and there's just a little bit more reliable internet, and you can keep bouncing. India, once again, that's a great back end type of deal. So like the Philippines, India and stuff like that, they got to be your lower level task, and they're really never talking to customers verbally. So I do like South America, and you can even find countries in the Caribbean because here's the reality: you need them on like close to U.S. time zones because I can't tell you how many VAs I hired in the Philippines with a chicken roostering in the
No, I
background,
know.
and it was a constant complaint. I go, guys, it never stops. So just keep in mind the geographic area. And
We prefer Mexico, but obviously depends where. You can still use Filipinos, depends on your budget, obviously, but we're not preferring it too much. Then lastly here, Stevie says, starting out, shouldn't you get your first deals on your own? Stevie, watch day one. We kind of break that down in the beginning. You should make $100K a year before you actually start this operation.
That's a yes.
And guys, remember, guys, in June, we are doing our June challenge, right? We're roughly doing about 2 to 3 lives a week in June, nothing too crazy. And then we're doing a lot of recorded videos, basically starting out how to get your first deal from day 1 to 30. You can join the challenge at www.flipwithrick.com/June. Get a ton of prizes, get your first deal.
June's going to be fun, isn't it?
It'll be interesting. We're gonna be live streaming from the jungles. We're from the jungles, the oceans, the deserts.
And June's going to be a very, very full month. So
it's going to be fun. So guys, go to www.flipwithrick.com/June. If you want to actually go out here and join the challenge, only rule you have never gotten a deal first, and then you can start hopping on from there. So without further ado, let's start talking people one-on-one absolutely for free today. Let me show you exactly how to hop on the links here. Now I'm going to add, I feel bad. How many people we got like 300 people requested to join from last time, except the people this morning. So I think while we're talking, I'm going to add some more people so extra people get links. But just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real here on Facebook. Basically, what you can do here is just join on here, talk to us one-on-one. The link's right here. Click here. That's the StreamYard link to join us. Go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Let me go here and give you guys the link so you can hop on here. And boom. Beautiful. All right. So go to just Wholesaling Houses for Real on Facebook, and then you can hop on here and talk to us absolutely for free. So without further ado, let's start talking to some people one-on-one and seeing how we can help you guys out. Ready to go?
let's do it.
Let's go. Number one, we got Rebecca. How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm blessed.
So just a quick, not too much to ask today, just, checking in. I sent an email for the June challenge, super excited for it. But my market area that I've been picking seems to just, I don't get a lot of leads on it or anything. Like I'll call people and I've gotten a couple leads to get probates. I'm still working with the county. They keep giving me the website, but they're telling me that I have to look it up by name. So it's really hard. I put another email in to see if there's a list that I can just get.
What
but
list?
I'm focused.
Okay.
The probates.
Okay, I would just do the dockets.
Because they said they. Okay, you said dockets.
Yeah, just pull the dockets.
Oh.
A doc is just a fancy word for a list compilation. So courthouses are all about managing data.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you, Rebecca, this is never going to stop. It's probably get even more challenging is they're trying to filter out people that are abusing the system. So believe it or not, there's marketers that go out there, collect this information, and then they sell it to people like you and me. And they abuse the heck out of it, and they make profit from doing it. And it's gotten out of control. And that's why they're doing it. So they want to create hurdles. So I always approach them. Listen, I'm a tax-paying citizen. I want this information to do some research. I'm looking at values. I'm looking at demographic trends, age, people coming and going. You pay for it with your taxes. I promise you, they're going to. She's just trying to gently tell you to just go away. Like that, they do it to me all day long. I once sat in a courtroom for 2.5 hours waiting for the list. I'm just like, and you kill them with kindness. So I will tell you this: if you're physically in front of them, it's much easier on the phone or like email. We had someone tell us last week, I emailed them, they told me no. I'm like, of course.
Yeah,
like, that's what it's easy.
Because, yeah.
Rebecca, did you call them?
Because I'm in Alaska. I did call, and then they bounced me back between different departments.
Yeah, that's
And
fun,
so then
isn't
I
it?
started emailing. Yes, but I'm not going to give up. I did send another email, and I'm trying to kill them with kindness
Yeah.
through my emails as well. I may just find somebody like boots on the ground down in my area because I'm doing it
Uh-huh.
virtually from Alaska, and trying
Okay.
to maybe have them go in for me. I just don't know if I can trust somebody to do it with kindness and do what I want. It's kind of hard part.
Listen, you can't go in and run them over because they're employees and like
Yeah.
there's just
Yeah,
a certain amount of stuff people are not going to put up with. And I tell people
yeah,
when you go in and run them over, like think about like, have you ever had a job where someone runs you over? How do you treat them? You make their life difficult just as
oh yeah,
back. So the good news is, Rebecca, is once you can penetrate them, you only really
hmm
have to do it once. So it's a task. I've taken months to penetrate some of these lists. We have some
yeah,
challenges with the water the water shutoff list, and depending on who owns it and who has the information. It just and not everything's foolproof. But probates, the whole point of a probate is a public record, and
hmm
they won't deny that to you. How they want to disseminate that information to you is the part that's up to debate, and that's where you just have to just kind of just keep circling the wagons until it doesn't go away. Because the funny thing is, like in some counties, I'm gonna share a little secret for you. Ready? I've had counties that completely shut me down. Like I'm talking 3 to 4 months of work. I did. So you got a choice. You can quit there or you can find a way around it. I worked the deal out with a local lawyer to pull the information for me, and they stroked it in like 2 seconds. I'm like, I just spent 3 months, and we came up to an arrangement with it. Part of it was financial.
okay,
The other part was, if you any type of probate work or anything like that, you just got to make sure it goes through that way. And I found a probate attorney that owned a title company, and he's like, if you wash these deals through, then I'll just give it to you for free. If you don't, but like he even got down to like I think it was like $100 a month. I'm like, you kidding me? You're just going to send me the list? By the way, lawyers get a special privied information that you and me can't see, and they get
okay.
all the information. I mean, everything. So I'm just giving you ideas. They're
Yeah,
making it
that's a
more and
great
more
idea.
difficult for people, but just when they close one door, don't seal it shut. Part of being an
Yeah,
entrepreneur, especially as a wholesaler, is like you find ways to penetrate doors that most people will give up on. And that's the difference between someone being successful and someone just going, okay, well, I can't do it. I can tell you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be shut down on an email just off of principle because they can click a button. Phone calls are much more powerful. In person's extremely powerful, but if you have to use a third party, sometimes you can also work with title companies. They have the ability from a paralegal standpoint to pull that information. So also look up paralegals, really, really valuable stuff. I do a lot of my probate work through paralegals. If I don't have to go to court, I can pay a paralegal a 70, like it's 70% off of what I'd hire a probate attorney to do the deal. So, and we do those all the time. If it's
okay,
challenging, we have to use the attorney. So I'm giving you ideas. It is public record. All attorneys that are licensed in that state have access to it. Like in our state, they call it like a benchmark. So and then you're going to have to get familiar with some of the terminology. So if they do turn you down and say, listen, who gets access to these files and how do they get it? And find out the
okay,
name of the software system, because I promise you, like benchmarks used with like multiple states. I don't know how many. I'd be making it up if I said it. So find out what the name of the software is. But
mhm.
trust me, there's tons of information in there. They act like there's like one probate case, like give me a name. Like
Yeah,
so as Zach said, you do want the docket, and I've gone in some counties where right there on there, the petitioner's full name, address, and phone numbers on it. There's 3 particular states you can do that. I'm not going to share them publicly. But like still in Florida, we have to reverse engineer it. So it's welcome to
and that's what
wholesaling.
I
Like
even
this is how it works.
I
Yeah.
even asked him, give me the properties. If you can't give me any information, if you can just give me the properties or the zip codes, give me something.
Yeah.
Just get the Rebecca. Just get the docket. To show you all the
hmm
probate cases that are currently out, and then just go after that. Cody in Kansas had
Okay.
the same issue. She went from there, and then she started getting probate deals from there. So that's the one way around it. Just get the public docket. They can't say no to that.
Just
Okay.
keep at it. You're
Um,
The way to
Yes.
beat it is to be extremely persistent, but you do have to be nice about it. Like
Exactly.
these are people, and if you run them over, they're not going to treat you kindly.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had made a couple. Well, I had about 15 cold calls that I made yesterday from a list, and I finally talked to somebody because I keep getting voicemails. But a lady, she's said that I was like the third or fourth person to call her. It was a pre-foreclosure,
Mhm.
and she was, I made really great rapport with her, and she wants to sell her house in the fall. And I was like, okay, well, keep me up to date. I'll make contact with her next month again. We had a
Awesome.
really good rapport. She got my phone number and my name, and so hopefully something might come from that.
Cool. Rebecca, where are you in Alaska?
In Fairbanks.
Oh, cool. Cool. I've been there once in my life, long
Oh,
time
yeah.
ago.
Where'd you go?
I love Alaska. I would spend all summer there if I could.
Yeah.
That's my goal. Is I want to be here during the summers and somewhere warm in the winters. I'm so done being here.
So you've been there through the winters?
Oh yeah, this last winter was the worst that I've ever seen.
God, it's like, okay. Well, I could talk about it all day long with that. It's anything else we can help you out with?
No, great information on the probates. That's a list I really want because in the city that
Yeah.
I'm doing it in, they won't do any water shutoffs. They're not shutting off anybody right now.
Okay. Yeah. So the good news is you see some of the challenges of getting probates. That means most people are going to quit at the email and the phone call. If you could take those extra steps and figure a way out, and sometimes you're going to have to band-aid it till you get that information. If you had to do a couple dollars, sometimes it's worth it. I got one of my biggest deals by doing it like with a lawyer. And then the follow-up, the lawyer 6 months later gave me one of my easiest probates I ever did. He's like, the guy owed him 15 grand. He's like, if you just buy this cash and make it happen and give me my 15 grand, it's yours. I'm like, done. And that all happened by the conversation like we're having now. I hit roadblocks. I'm like, I asked him who gets access to this information. They told me, well, a licensed attorney was. I'm like, okay, I'll just figure this out.
Yeah.
So you're on the right path. Just keep going.
Oh.
Be persistent. Okay.
All right.
Rebecca, don't stop at anything.
I won't.
Okay. Well, enjoy your really warm summer. Okay.
Oh yeah, enjoy it.
It's going to be really hot this summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has the
65
snow all
degrees
melted
right now.
away? Has the snow melted on the ground?
Practically all of it. Mhm.
Okay. We never see snow in Florida. So I'm intrigued by it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Have a good one.
Have a
All
great
right.
day.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Awesome.
Bye.
All right. Boom.
I love talking about snow in Alaska.
Oh my gosh, you in the snow. Drive me crazy.
Yeah, I go fish in Alaska anytime.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody wants to invite me to Alaska, I'm there.
All righty. Speaking of Cody, she was on here. She's got a probate question.
Okay.
I told her hop on. She had a probate problem. I told her like talk to Rick about it tomorrow.
Okay.
Crazy.
Let's go.
Hello.
Yeah, so do you want me to just like explain the whole thing again?
Yeah. So Cody couldn't find probates. I told her to go to the dockets, and now she's got a really good probate deal.
Okay.
And kind of crazy, but take it
yeah,
away.
give me the Cliff Note version of it. And let me see how I can help you out with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to simplify it real quick. So I called a guy. He's willing to sell a house to me, but it's his father's. His father passed away. There's no will to the house, or will at all, or a deed of transfer for the house.
Okay.
Two of the heirs, one of them is his, and the other one is his sister. The sister, well, neither of them want the property, but the sister has already signed a disclaimer not wanting it. The son has not, and there's a mortgage on it. I think I said it was like $110,000.
Okay.
So, yeah, his issue is if he had the right to sell it, which I talked to an attorney, they said yes, he did. But he would have to pay the back pay on the payment. So like whenever they were stopped being made.
Okay. How far backed up is it?
He said he doesn't know anything about the process. He just knows that he got all of this sent to him about a year ago, and his sister and him have been procrastinating it. His sister just sent in the disclaimer, I think this month, the beginning of this month.
Okay. So what state are you in, Cody?
Kansas.
Oh, I was born in Kansas.
Yeah.
So you're dealing with there's it sounds like there's 3 siblings total.
2.
2.
The guy that I talked to and the sister.
Okay. So the guy that you're dealing with, the one that you have a connection with,
Right.
he wants this, he wants to get rid of it, correct?
Yeah, he said, I called him and he said that he didn't want anything to do with it because he is
Okay.
trying to buy a house himself.
Okay.
He's afraid that it's going to mess with his loan that he's trying to get.
Okay.
So, and he obviously is trying to get a house, so he doesn't want to
Okay.
pay mortgage.
And you're 100% positive there's no will.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Okay.
They're on public records. There's none. It just appointed heir.
Is the house occupied, vacant?
No, he said it's been vacant since 2020, I believe.
Okay. Is this in your local market or is it far away?
I want to say about an hour and a half away.
Okay. Have you put any eyes on the property?
Cash buyer wise?
Just you or anybody you work with?
No. Okay.
So, and what's your guesstimate of the worth of it? Don't give an address or anything like that, but like your pencil search.
So I overestimated yesterday.
Okay.
And I went back, did everything, and I am comfortable with saying 240.
What are we waiting for?
I
mean, you like Cody. Honestly, this is stuff like I have dreams about. Like it's
exciting.
It's a really good deal.
So I guess I've been talking to the guy. He works night shift, so it's hard. I try to talk to him when I can.
Yeah. So here's the challenge: is the gentleman that you're speaking with, he doesn't really have legal authority to sign anything, correct?
I don't think so. The bank is waiting. They want to put it in foreclosure, obviously, because of the mortgage and everything.
Okay.
But they're just waiting on the response to go forward with it.
Okay. So here's what I would do if I was in your situation. So like, and the process is the most important.
Okay.
Get everybody that you think would have a claim on this property and try to be super aggressive and reach out to them and find out what their intentions are. Like,
how would I get that information? How would I go about that?
Honestly, Google is a very powerful engine. True People search online. You get a Spokey account. It's like $10 a month, maybe. And you can just search online, like really inexpensive stuff, and try to get all the contact information, because I'm not overly familiar with probates in Kansas, but what you have to do is get someone that has the authority to sign. So in this particular instance,
talk to an attorney.
What did the attorney tell you?
He said that he had the right to sell it. He just would have to pay the back pay on it when the payment.
They're in pre-foreclosure also.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't. The problem is the property is still titled in the deceased person's name, correct?
I have no clue. There's no will, there's no deed, there's nothing. It's just like he passed away, and now it's like the.
Okay. So let me give you how most of this works is some sort of legal precedence has to be set for someone to authorize a sale of the property. So a dead person cannot sign. That's the whole purpose of probate. So here's what I do in these cases, and I probably can't nail this all in one call, is in this case is I would write a contract. I would probably want to put some sort of eyes. You pay someone $50 to drive by and just take pictures, because I don't know about you, but a house sitting 2 years vacant is right on that fine line, because if it's got a leak or something on the roof, you could easily get $50,000 of damage just like that.
Yeah.
So I know it was sitting for 2 years, and I'll definitely do that. But the father, he bought it in 2019, and he passed away a year afterwards. And during that time, he got brand new wiring, brand new plumbing, new windows, and new countertops, cabinets, floors. So
yeah. So here's what I do on these. These are my favorite type of deal is try to get like some eyes and ears on it. But if there's consent for someone to sell, I speak to an attorney. You're going to need an attorney, not a paralegal in this one. Okay. Pre-negotiate the fees up front. Understanding it's not going to be a super express probate, because without a will, they have to make announcements. So it's probably going to take 90 days if nobody objects to it. What you can do is get consent of it. And during that time is they file for a they file for a petition and they get an executor or a PR, depending on your state reads it. The idea is to get the gentleman you're speaking with as a designated PR, and then he can legally execute a contract. Now, the reason he doesn't want to do that, because nobody wants to pay for the probate. Nobody likes paying attorneys. But if you could pay $3,000 to make 50 or 100 grand, you would do it all day long. So this is the part where I tell you, like, I gather all the data, and if there's a strong possibility this is going to work out, I promise you, Cody, you've spent $2,000 or $3,000 on things that you never ever got a return on, like other than experience, vacations,
Right.
cruises, schooling, and stuff like that. And most attorneys will work a deal out with you, and they say, "Listen, give me $1,000 up front, and then
Okay.
once the case is completed, we'll pay the balance." And then what I do is I charge the estate on the final cash out, or if they give me a really good deal, I just eat it. If you're making 100 grand, just pay for it.
Right.
And you just got to, as quickly as possible, get the legal authority to sign the contract, and then have the attorney work through the probate. I don't want you even dealing with that. But here's what attorneys do. They wait forever to get people to respond. And I go, "Listen, I already spoke to John. He said he would go ahead and sign that affidavit. Do you want me to get that hand delivered for you? Can you just write it up and I'll get it DocuSigned for you?" And that's what I do with the attorney. I don't let them sit and drag it on 6 months to a year. So, if you pay for the probate and work out like a deal like that, under the understanding that they're going to enter into an agreement, you just got to kind of find out what the fair number is. The problem is if you're too aggressive with the number, you might get kickback.
All right.
And you can't overpay because you don't know what the inside of the property is. If I knew the utilities were on, I'd feel real comfortable with the deal. Once the utilities they go off, you know, like winter. I don't know if you got winterizing issues, but pipes freezing and
Definitely.
stuff like that.
Right.
Like in Florida, if you shut off the air for a year, your house is covered in mold.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the part you don't know on the inside. Like $50 could probably get you a quick answer to it. So, do you have her information?
No.
Or can you?
She could probably message me or something.
Yeah. Can you tell her how to message us? And
Yeah,
you know,
we can
this
help.
is something possibly if you want to work together on, but you would have to be like the eyes and ears on the ground. And
So
Definitely.
you gotta look at.
the key is finding a good attorney that will
Well, she already
implement.
has an attorney.
Okay.
Well, I don't have. I was
think she
just
just spoke to
talking
him.
with some. I made an appointment with him the other day. But actually, since the guy he works night shift, I said that already. So he sleeps during the day. So I went ahead and I got like a whole bunch of appointments for title companies today, and I went and talked to them. And I like the one that I have. They said they have an attorney on staff themselves. Would I
Okay.
be able to use them, or do I have to go through one that I find myself?
Well, you're going to have to find an attorney that will work with you.
Okay.
Listen, a lot of traditional attorneys, they're a pain in the butt when it comes to probate. When they hear there's no will, they'll instantly tell you it's 7 to 10K.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, that's not the number. If you can do a lot of the legwork and use like I tell attorneys, I just need you to write the paperwork and sign your name.
Right.
I will tell you, someone's going to have to go to court at least once on this deal because there's no will. So they have to make an announcement, put it out there. Your biggest risk, Cody, is somebody backdooring you on this deal. Someone's going to reach out to this guy, or someone's going to leak information out.
Yeah.
I know attorneys, they do it all the time to me.
Well, I'm
So-
trying to get this done fast because he said, I guess, you know, they've been waiting on the bank themselves have been waiting on these the two people to sign the disclaimer for like a year. So they said they're trying to put a rush on him, but there's no deadline, sort of say. There's a pension for the foreclosure, but I mean, they said that they're really doing.
So what we need to do is you can go back to them and just guesstimate when the last time someone would have possibly made a payment on that mortgage. Probably the day after he died, they probably stopped paying it. So if you know the day he died, you can do your investigative work. And honestly, this is a perfect one you can take over subject to, which lets you control the property, gives you a ton of options. You can sell it for more. You can keep it as a rental, do whatever you want with it. And this is a perfect scenario where you just say, listen, if I take it over, pay the attorney fees and do everything and give you can go anywhere from a couple grand to 10 grand. I don't know what the deal is worth. The problem is if you get too aggressive with it, they're going to start shopping you around.
Right.
What I would try to do is just get an agreement signed from him right now, even though he doesn't have the legal authority, to get that mental commitment from him, and then push forward hard as you can. And then if someone tries to backdoor you, you have a timestamped contract they're going to tell you don't have the legal authority, but neither do they.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of work through it. So if
So
what's the,
I would basically, I just want to, I guess, summarize. Talk to the guy, try to get like a price down that he likes, that we both like, get it signed, and then kind of go.
well, here's the problem is you don't know how much is
Yeah.
built up on the mortgage type of deal. So here's kind of the agreement. I'd say, listen, if we can figure out, can you just help me guesstimate when the last time the mortgage payment was made? Just assume the worst. Assume $5,000 of attorney's fees and then whatever the payments are plus penalties. So just whatever. It's going to be $20,000 or whatever his monthly payment was, and you can add. By the way, you can look up the mortgage on public record, and you can see what he took it for, and you can estimate it. Also, through PropStream with listrei.com, if you have an account, it'll give you an estimate like right there in a click of a button.
It shows the mortgage itself, like how much he got the loan, like the mortgage out for, and how much he has. But it doesn't show the interest in like how much it the missed payments have.
Okay.
Are.
So why don't we do this? Like the guys, the perfect scenario here is you basically take over the mortgage, figure out like the back payments. You got to be careful what you commit to, because sometimes it's really big, and then
Right.
you're forced to sell it. And then you give the estate, like sometimes you go, listen, what if I just gave you $3,000 and I take over this entire mess? You're going to have to cooperate me through the probate.
Well, they have a lot of equity in the deal.
Well, that's unknown though. That's what she's got to figure out.
I know.
Like,
She's got to figure. It might be a good wholesale. You never know.
I
gotta
tell you
figure
what,
some stuff out.
Cody, it's actually, there's a lot of information to take down. If you can PM me like your contact information, and either me or Zach will reach out to you, and just you're gonna kind of need a plan to move forward.
Yeah, trying to move fast. I'm trying to do everything right.
And it's a balance, but the problem is if you rush and try to write up a contract not knowing what's owed on the property, or and not knowing the interior condition, you could be way off.
Yeah.
And my experience in the seller, when you give them a number, they're not happy when you change it like by 50 or 100 grand. Okay. And that's why you kind of like getting eyes and ears on it would help. Yeah. I'm not looking to tell you to break the bank, but sometimes you get in a car and just go take a look at it.
Yeah.
I'm concerned when a property's vacant a couple of years. That's a little bit of a red flag, but
yeah,
I just don't want anybody else to beat you to the punch, so to speak. So it's, do me a favor, PM your information, and either myself or Zach will reach out to you. And if you,
I'd message Rick
through Facebook.
Yeah, I get too many messages.
I can't there's
less than you. Oh my gosh, ridiculous. I'm attacked.
Isn't there like a PM thing in here she can do, or
just message him? That'd be the easiest one.
Tell you what, see if I do it. Everyone's going to message me.
That's fine. You can sort through it.
Okay.
It's not that hard. All right. Just do that, and then we'll go help you out.
Hit me on Facebook and we'll figure out. But like, if we can verify some of the numbers and you want a partner to walk you through it, I could easily do this. But like, your eyes and ears on the ground. But these are very sensitive. There's so much information that has to be opened up here. I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. And have you done any wholesaling, or is this your first deal?
This is my first deal. Zach helped me out last week. I'm trying to get the lists, and so I finally got one that's like a yes maybe. So we're working on this. I did have a question. I mean, I know that it's obviously not under contract, so it's not smart to obviously introduce it to other people. Definitely not. But would my title company be able to help me out, or would that?
Here's the problem with the title company is they're just employees, like a lot of them, and they work with other investors. And I'm just telling you, I've had deals stolen through title companies on me.
Okay.
So you have to do as much due diligence, collect as much information. And the idea is really have everything by like Saturday or Monday. I know it's a holiday weekend. And then from there, this is a deal if you work with someone and you can make a good amount of money, because I don't know your local market. I just know how to work with deals with motivated sellers. Number one, you have a motivated seller. Number two, you got a little bit of a complex probate. I think this is one that you probably need a little help with. So if we can work together, guys, I only want to work on deals where there's like motivated sellers and it makes sense, because I've been through all your pain doing this. Like, trust me, I've made every mistake in the book. And if you can answer some basic questions, I'll save you a ton of headache with it. And if you don't want to work with me, I'll still tell you how to do it, but you got to do a lot of legwork on it. So
that's fine.
There's so much unknown. It's hard to make an offer on unknown information.
Definitely.
But you got to get a commitment. You got to get the commitment. And honestly, I think in 48 hours, you could get all the information you ever needed.
I would love.
So just you're a smart girl.
Just
She can
message
figure
it.
out.
She's fine.
Okay, cool.
Let's-
Real quick questions. So he said he was worried about this whole deal. Geez. It wouldn't affect him getting a loan for his own house, would it?
0.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
Probates live and die with the person that signed the paperwork, and that's it. And honestly, the job of helping people out with probate is walking them through the unknown. So many people have these myths and knowledges like, well, if they do this, it's going to affect my credit. There's one social security number, if not a spouse, 2, and that's it. And it stops there.
Yeah.
So that's not an issue. But honestly, by having you give him information and help him through it, you can get things signed from him that you need while you reassure him when you do it. If you reassure him right off the bat, he might be your biggest obstacle down the road. I've had that happen to me.
Right. Yeah.
So,
keeps giving me different issues like this. I'm like, well, I don't want to obviously give you 100% answer because I want to be sure when I give you that answer, or
yeah. Listen, just if you want to PM me on Facebook, I'll look for it. You got to send it this evening because it's really hard to like scroll through all the messages.
I will do it.
And guys, if you guys have
after it.
if you have motivated sellers like motivated sellers in probate, like you can't get a better fit than me. I promise you.
Yes, I would love the help.
Okay, send it
sounds
over
good.
and just put the best way to contact you in the time, and I'll reach out to you. We'll figure it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys.
Okay, awesome. See, that's a good problem to have, Lo.
Oh yeah, perfect. Sam, thanks.
Okay,
Perfect. All right, next
talk
year we
about
got
probates all day. That's the problem, man. Like I love probates.
Darren. What is up?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. How are you?
What's up?
I'm good. Thanks a lot for what you guys are doing. I appreciate it.
Of course, man.
So what I'm looking at, I've got a potential deal where I'm looking at 5 different lots of land. I reached out to the owner of the one. It's on 2.8 acres. And she said that she doesn't want to sell that without the other family members being able to sell their lots of land also. The way this is lined up is the 2.8 acres stretches all the way to the back, and there's 4 lots next to it. 2 of those are landlocked. But the property is completely distressed. Everything is overgrown. I mean, literally, the driveway to the house is almost non-existent. I've had to walk through the woods to even find the house. And I mean, just the outer wall of the building is left. The roof is still there, but the entire floor inside of the building has collapsed. There's nowhere to walk inside there. And then 2 of the other properties have 2 houses built on them. They're almost in just as bad a shape as that. I'm curious, how should I proceed with that? Do I need to get each of them under a separate contract for each lot of land? And do I value the property as just land only because the house it basically needs to be demolished?
I would probably just value as land.
Yeah.
Land. At the end of the day, the best way to do it is just find a buyer and kind of figure out roughly where they're at and then go from there. Because especially when you're getting more than 2 lots, it's kind of a crapshoot what the value is going to be, right?
And if the floor is rotted out and that's the protected part of the house, you can consider the walls, the roof, everything else is going to be shot too. So I would look at the entire piece of land. And are you doing this virtual? Or is it local?
Local.
Okay. So like look around, what's going on in your community, is there value for land? Are there builders going there? You got to start asking like some of those questions, and you're going to have to make 2 or 3 assumptions, and then you're going to have to test it out by talking it out. As far as the contract, it sounds like there's multiple family members involved, correct?
Correct. I'm looking at, I think, 3 different family owners total.
Okay. And the cooperation level is?
Well, she said that she would have to get them all together, which apparently they don't do often. So it may be a struggle, but I do have the contact information to where I could reach out to each of them individually.
So the key is, first of all, get her blessing. Don't do it behind her back, because if you understand, we all have family dynamics, and they're probably trying to save you some aggravation. So just talk to her. But I always go from the point of like, listen, I'll make it super easy for you if you can just give me their contact information, and let me know if there's anything I need to know before I contact them. And they'll tell you, go, hey, my sister, she's She's a little bit sensitive about it. Mom used to live there, and just anything that you can reflect, because remember that property has history, and the only ask yourself, why would they still own it if it has really no use right now?
Right. So three of the 5 lots actually are the taxes are paid, but 2 of them taxes are behind on it, and it was listed under, I guess, the husband or the father, and she said he's been deceased for several years now. That's why the property's in the shape that it's in.
Yeah. Listen, ask for permission and just tell her you'll make it super easy. If you wait for her to contact all the family members, you could be waiting for years. Just my
Okay.
personal experience. So just be respectful and understanding there might be some sort of emotional connection, because it's just tough, man, when people especially with their parents' house, because I've even dealt with that. So I would work with her and respect her and just listen, I'll make this super easy. She's probably thinking she has to get everybody in a room and get them all like and talk to them and make a feast. And the reality of that, you can do everything a DocuSign and just a simple phone call and get the whole thing done. But
Okay.
and then
So
just
another,
yeah,
go ahead.
just
Go ahead.
find out what you think the value of that land's going to be, and look around things happen in your area. And then once you have a contract, then you can test it out. But do not bring a seller there before you have a deal, because you are going to get cut out of it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of.
It will
So
happen. I guarantee it.
another thing about the property, and it's at least 3 of the 5 lots. They've used it for dumping piles of trash. I mean, there's literally trash everywhere, all over the place.
Cash buyer's problem.
Okay. What type of cash buyer? But what you think I'd be looking for somebody just to build homes, or I mean, it could be zone commercial, I believe.
And what is it zoned as, Darren?
Currently residential, I believe.
Then how's it going to be commercial?
I think they can rezone it because it's right next to commercial.
Yeah, that's where.
That's a cash buyer's problem. Like
Okay.
Yeah, you got to add, does commercial add value to it or not? Does commercial fit in that neighborhood?
Yeah. You have to find a cash buyer and pitch it to them.
Yeah, and just you let your
Okay.
cash buyers determine it. Remember, your job is to find a motivated seller. What do you have right now?
No motivated seller, or well, I mean, a motivated seller, but no cash
You
buyers
have
or
a
contract.
potential. You have a potential motivated seller. So
Yeah.
just finish your job of identifying the motivated seller and see if you can put everyone to put a deal together. And then
Okay.
once you can kind of get an idea with it, then you can start exploring what the options are with it. But I look around, look at a satellite view. You know everything going on around there. Is it people coming in the area? Is it expanding? Is it?
Oh yeah, it's booming. Pretty well, has been for the past couple of years, I think.
And so you've got a torn down house. You have someone who passed away, and you have delinquent taxes.
Yeah.
Like that's a highly motivated property. You just got to find out if you can get the motivated sellers to cooperate. But this is one I would stick to and just keep making progress, even if it takes you a few months to do it.
I agree.
Okay. All right, cool.
got
I've been driving past this property for 6 years now.
Okay, let's not
Do
make
it.
it 7.
All right. One more quick question. So I've got another potential lead. The guy wants to sell the property, but it's just a small lot with a mobile home on it. But I can't find any comps anywhere within the area. It's just
flow
land
comps,
value. Sorry.
reverse wholesale or cash flow comps. It's all on freewholesaling.com, man. 1%
Okay.
rule. That's generally how we do it.
And just see what they rent for. You know what
Yeah.
a mobile home in the area is renting for. Actually, they've gone up tremendously across the country. So, don't
Okay.
overthink it. Just make sure it's functionable if you're going to price it in for someone living in it. It's not a rundown one. If it's a rundown one, just scratch it and go to land value.
I agree.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys.
All
Okay,
right,
man.
man.
Good luck.
Have
Let
a
us
blessed
know.
one.
Thank you. Bye.
All right.
These are good problems people have.
Oh yeah. Next we got Victoria.
Hello.
Hello.
How you guys?
Hi,
Good,
Victoria.
how are you?
How you doing?
How
Good,
can we help
thank
you
you.
become a better wholesaler?
So today I wanted to ask you about going through my budget and my marketing plan, because I'm a routine person. I like to have a routine to know exactly what I be doing each day.
Okay.
So by the way, before I found you guys, I was in a conference for women in real estate conference in in Texas, and they was teaching us a course for $20,000. I love
Oh,
the
wow.
conference though, but I didn't want to spend the money. So I was like, okay, I'll figure out a way to find the information or the knowledge. So I found you guys eventually. So
Perfect.
thank you for all the work that you guys doing.
Of course.
So can I share my screen? I'm a very visualized person.
I don't think it's going to let you on here.
Oh, you had.
I don't believe so. We'll try it.
Did she have to do like an invite or something? Or
Do I
No.
need to do something? Oh, I have a
Let's see.
share. Can I just hit share?
Yeah.
Okay, let me try. Share screen.
questions? What's she going to share?
Her schedule.
Okay.
Yes,
Let's see
I'm
it.
an Excel person.
You're a schedule person, right?
Yes,
All right.
I'm an accountant, so.
Okay, well, let's just some questions while she's doing that. If the house is in foreclosure, is the seller technically the bank? No, I don't know who creative finance person you're talking to. They're just behind on their payment. They're not the bank. The bank is actively going after them. All right. So this is it.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. So this is my monthly budget. Seeing the course was $2,000 a month.
Why is your PropStream 130?
Isn't that $99
Yeah.
for the main one, and then like $25 if you want to download the list? Because when I was
It's
in
99.
no, don't they have like $25 for like automatic or automated data?
Yeah, I don't think you need the list automator starting out.
Okay.
You can do it. I mean, I don't care.
It's up to you. You don't need it. I'm just telling you, 10,000
Yeah,
leads.
what
download
dialer
it.
are you using?
When I was trying, wait, hold on. When I was trying to download the list, because I'm right now in the 7 days trial. And when
Okay.
I was trying to download the list, it didn't let me to export the list in order to.
'Cause that's a trial.
Okay. So once I'm done with the trial or get out of the trial, it will let me download the list in Excel, right?
Yeah. Change that
Okay.
number.
Yeah, I'll put that 99.
So $99.
See, now we've saved her 20,000 plus $30.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. A month. All right.
Okay.
What dialer are you using?
What I was thinking of using REI Reply.
Okay.
So they said it's like $49 for the platform, and then for 2 lines, like I'm thinking of doing 2 markets. So then that's
Whatever you want. Whatever you want. I mean, we don't recommend it because I'm not going to break it down, but we'll see.
Go ahead.
All right.
Try it out.
All
right. That's
and
fine.
then the minutes is 5 hours a day, and then SMS and then skip tracing is 5,000 leads for 12 cents a lead.
Okay.
And then the VA for 2 to 3 hours a day.
Looks good.
So my question, I guess, here is, if I look at this, the minutes, like the SMS, if I do 1,000 texts a day for 30 days, that would give me 30,000 texts. Like it's probably will reach 30,000 people, but then my leads, I only have 5,000 leads. Does that mean that I need to bump up my skip rates and like more leads, or like how? Or do I have
you're
to
gonna run out.
recycle the list?
You're gonna run out.
Yes.
I wouldn't stress over that yet because I would have to see what you're doing first, because you're using a Twilio integration with REI Reply, so you got to figure out if it's going to work or not. So get 5,000 leads and see how those 5 days work, and then you figure it out from there. You'd probably have to bump it up if you're doing 1,000 a day, though. It's like 30,000. 1,000 is pushing it, though.
Okay. So you don't recommend REI Reply?
I don't really care. I mean, it's all Twilio at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So use whatever one you want.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I'm not the biggest fan of it, just because when you're doing a higher volume, the delivery rates just get shot down. Now, if you're doing very small, like 500 to 1,000 a day, it'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm just letting you know. Once you start doing 1,000 a day, you're going to have to get very creative with your stuff. So you're going to have to probably make 100 templates. So I just don't want, because if you're doing 1,000 a day, that is 25,000 a month if you're doing Monday through Friday.
That's a
So,
big number.
Yeah, it's going to be a big number. So that's a big budget for texting.
You're going to have to test some of it out
Yeah,
and
you're
see
gonna have
what
to
your
test it
delivery
out.
rates are, because
We can go in theory all day.
Yeah.
You actually have to effectively do it.
I have to test it. Okay.
You'll know pretty quick, Flo. That's the good
Yeah.
thing about SMS. You don't have to wait a month to figure it out. So,
okay. So I would try and let you know. And then my next question is, so when you say that when you pull the list, you usually exclude corporate as a homeowner. When you pull a list, Zach, I think you mentioned in the videos that you usually exclude corporate as the homeowner. Why is that?
Well, I mean, there's two ways you can do it. Go out, try to market only to corporate and see how that goes. Usually they're more savvy. Usually they're buying the property for a profit. There's usually not a lot of motivation with it.
no motivation at all. Profit is the motivation, and that's the one thing that you can't overcome.
Yeah. So that's why we don't do
So
it.
you're just going to waste a lot of money on data that is just. We don't even bother in our campaigns doing it. It just you might find once in a blue moon, but like,
oh, I mean, at the end of the day, we just say it because it's easier than going in the 2-hour explanation on it. They're not going to be motivated.
they're not. And like I've got a lot of data to prove it. So I'm trying to save you. If you go out and test it, it's going to cost you thousands, like in the long run. And I'm I'm giving you the truth.
Okay.
No 20K course either, because it's
Yeah.
by the time that you pay the tuition and then you pay for all the services they recommend, then you got to go out and test the data. And it's you ever study something in a classroom and then you go out in the real world, you're like, oh my God, that was different.
Here's the thing. This budget looks fine to me.
Uh-huh.
But this doesn't. This budget's 10% of the struggle. The main struggle is what list you're doing and what market you're doing. Because I know you're in Long Island, so if you're doing virtual, your list and your market's going to be 80% of the struggle. This is like tiny.
That's the easy part.
So what's the list? What's the market?
I'm thinking of doing Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, why?
Because I've been there, so I kind of know the area a little bit, and I like it. And I've been trying to purchase a home in Jacksonville Beach, which is I know is like a lot higher market, like higher ARV market. And I'm not going there, but and then I couldn't find like any good property.
Victoria, do you like?
Yes, sorry. I don't want. Hold on one second.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Okay, we're just gonna go back to there. Cujo, what is up?
Yo, what's going on, man?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good. How's Virginia treating you?
It's doing good. What's it called? I wanted to talk to you guys and just ask a few questions. I talked to you last time, and the market
I remember,
that I'm
man,
in.
Mr. Lynchburg.
Yeah.
He said, I don't think there's a lot of wholesaling deals in Lynchburg. I'm like, there's 215,000 people living there. ARV under 150.
Listen. I'm 19. I was like, I was looking at everything and I was like, dude, there's nothing here.
The point here, I'm not making fun of the point is there was wholesaling deals being done everywhere, man. Everywhere.
Yeah.
You actually stoked me though, and I took your advice and I went and drove for dollars, and I also talked to my grandma as well, because I told you that she works for the actual water treatment of Lynchburg, and so she's literally the person that goes out and cuts people's water off when they are behind on the payments and stuff. But now this is off record, of course, and this is all like this isn't true at all, right? This isn't true at all. But I'm talking to her, and she's like, well, I explained to her, the whole process and like pulling lists and stuff. And she was like, well, why don't I just tell you when I'm going to cut someone's water off?
That's insane.
And then I'll slide you some of the details, and then you can do your own work from there. So,
all right. Hold on. I don't know what you're talking about. You didn't tell me that. I don't know what you're talking about.
I love how America works.
Hey,
okay.
Hold on.
This
I don't know what you said, and I'm gonna act like you never told me that.
Yeah. But I wanted to
I think
ask
what you're
you,
actually doing is very well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I wanted to ask you guys, I have 4 questions and they're really quick questions. I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time. The first one is, so I'm looking at some houses and some of the deals that I've looked at, which are quote, quote deals, like they could be really good deals, but the sellers are really like high and close to the ARV of the house itself. Like it's the kind of seller where they want to get too much for their property.
It's an ideal.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask you guys if it's possible, because I'm sure that you guys have had deals where you've talked people down and been like, hey, like this is what most people sell their house for in your market, like when it's renovated, but yours needs like this amount of work. And how do you get them to come down? Do you even try to get them to come down? You just leave it.
There's one factor you figure out if it's going to be a deal or not. One factor. Do you know what that is? When I talk to somebody, why? Motivation. Yeah. That's how I figure out if I want to talk to somebody or not. It's motivation.
Yeah.
If I don't have any motivation with that person, they want too much for it, I'm not going after it. If they want too much, but there's massive motivation, it's worth pursuing. So if there's not a motivation with that deal, I'm not pursuing it.
And you'll wear yourself thin trying to, because you'll be talking to a lot of people like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they'll wear you down, and you'll feel like a realtor when it's said and done. And here's the crazy part: a lot of times you're just trying to talk them down to retail.
Yeah.
Telling you to get it for a discount. So like when the gap's so far, I didn't even waste my time. The only thing that can cure that is time.
Yep.
And let them get punished.
Letting them sit there on it and realize, like,
yeah. So I can tell you right now, with interest rates going up, less people buying homes, sometimes you just let properties sit on the market and just keep an eye on it. It's so easy electronically to watch a property. Let 3 months go by and then try it again. They're like, well, and then when they go, listen, maybe we need to talk.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes you can do a creative financing strategy and it's wonderful, but do not try to talk people off like a retail ledge. It's because you'll have to talk to 1,000 people to get one person to just go slightly below retail, in my experience.
I agree.
I tried it for years. I'm just telling you, that mentality is never going to change. Generation to generation, it doesn't matter.
All right.
It's just a mindset.
Yeah. Another question I wanted to ask was, and I never like even thought about this until now, but since I have a water shutoff list that I pulled from the county, of course, I have a lot of access to a lot of these leads. But my question is how many deals can you do a month? Like, can you do
unlimited?
Unlimited,
Dude. You got the whole United States.
Okay. I didn't know if there was like a certain cap on like how many contracts you can sign a month, or if there was like some.
I'll let you know when I get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, dude, the amount of deals we're doing per month has been increasing probably every year for the past 5 years for me, and obviously you for the past 20 years for you. So it's always a growing number. It's kind of like the same question I asked you: is there a limit how much money you can make? No, it's never going to be enough.
So it really just boils down to like how well you can balance like all of those different deals that you're doing, or like the leads that you're working with. Yeah,
man. You got to balance it out. My goal, which I'll tell you, dominate the water shutoffs, then start dominating the code violations, and slowly dominate. And then the cool part about that is it doesn't seem like you're doing too much. You're like, okay, now I'm marketing this. Now I'm slowly doing this. You're like, okay, I'm going to do 1 deal a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like 5 months later, doing 2 deals a month. And then 5 years later, I'm like, I'm doing like 20 deals a month. And then just keep like, it doesn't seem crazy, but like over time, it's like, one thing I'll tell you is, have you ever looked at a picture of you in like 4th grade?
Yeah.
You thought you looked normal. And then over time, you slowly grow and you don't notice it until you look at a picture from you 4th grade, like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you're like
that,
what?
Dude. Yeah, exactly.
Understand.
And that's the way it works. So
I got you. Another question I wanted to ask was it was about the June challenge. So I read on you guys' website about the June challenge, but I wanted to know a little bit more specific, because I hear you say that is it basically like for new people who haven't gotten a deal at all? And like,
have you gotten a real estate assignment deal?
None. I haven't even like cold called a person. I tried, but
email. As long as you don't get a deal under contract in 3 days, which if you do, awesome.
Yeah.
I want you to just put your email in. Hey, this is first name, last name. I'm in this market. I've never gotten a deal and I'm hoping to get a deal. I am submitting myself to be in the challenge. That's all I need. It'll be emailed. We have too many applicants. We're probably not going to email you back.
Yeah.
And the reason is I just want proof that you entered it.
Yeah.
Now, but guess what you're going to do? June 20th, you're going to say, this is blank blank from blank 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 with the same email, which I can tell. Here's a picture of my first contract. I got it locked up using this title company, and we have an assignment already signed for $10,000. Boom. You are a winner in the challenge. You're going to get something. You're going to be in a raffle for a bunch of stuff. And then boom.
Okay. Nice. I literally like held off on taking action and everything. And I wanted to get more, well, not just because of it, but I also wanted to get more knowledge on wholesale too. But I also was like, you know what? I kind of want to just push it off and wait a minute. Cause I think I heard about you guys' channel and I tuned in like a couple weeks back or something. So it's not like I've been pushing it off for months, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just wait until June. Cause I mean, if I can get my first deal in there and, you know, be a winner, I'm competitive. So being a winner.
Or do it.
Start now. Like, don't, it's like,
there's only going to be like 30 people that win. So like, you have a pretty good shot to win something awesome.
That's like saying, I'm going to go on a diet Monday, but I'm going to enjoy this weekend. Like, you just got to go because, wholesaling, it just requires momentum. So you have some tools, like some of the stuff.
It's going to be fun,
pretty
man.
amazing. So
here's the problem.
You got a huge head start.
This challenge is going to push people to their limits, man. Like, bro, if you talk to me in June, I'm going to be up your butt, man. Like, you're going to have to, like, the first week of June, you're talking to 50 people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You are.
You have to.
All right. Or I'll just shun you. Okay. Like, I'm pushing it, man. Okay.
No, I'm going to be pushing all those leads.
So you have all the tools, man. Water shut off. TruePeopleSearch.com for free. Do you know the conversation you have when you're cold calling these people?
Yes, I have. Like, I literally.
What's
have
the conversation? Cold call me. Tell me right now.
Hold on. Give me 1 second.
He has to think about it, right?
It's right here.
Yeah.
Hi, are you the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Sydney. I'm interested in buying your property for all cash. Are you interested in selling it all?
Perfect. That's it. Beautiful. Cut the one on my. That's perfect.
Yeah.
So guess what? 1% better every day. You do that 500 times, you're gonna sound like a robot, and it's gonna be perfect, automated, beautiful, right?
I can't tell you how much that like shook my nerves doing that. I was like, you put me on the spot right there.
What am I gonna do? What am I gonna? Hey, you're a meanie. Like what am I gonna say to be mean? Like, you got to realize why you get nervous. I get it, dude. Why you're nervous, but just remember, man, you get less nervous the more you do it, dude.
You just cold calling someone.
The anxiety is worse than the actual event.
Yeah.
And you got to realize that. So a lot of people build up all this mystique. Once you get through like 3 or 4 calls, it's like you could care less.
I tell everybody, have you ever played Xbox or PlayStation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever?
That's like when I grew up playing.
Have you played Call of Duty with a mic?
Yeah.
You've been called a lot of names, right?
I know exactly what you're getting at the COD.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's the Twilight Zone here.
I'm telling you, young kids got it. There's nothing that someone could tell you in an open chat with a mic on that you have never heard before in your life. So you are fine, man. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not repeating anything I've heard. But everyone that's listening to me that's played Call of Duty knows, especially 5th, 6th grade, there's nothing worse someone could say to you. So there should be no nervousness at all.
You'd hear something, you just sit there for a minute and be like, there's no way that
I'm numb to it, man. I'm numb to it. Okay. So there's nothing a 40-year-old man can tell me over the phone that I have not heard before. So you're fine.
100%. And then to wrap it up, the last thing I wanted to ask was, before I do start moving on to these, do you guys have any last minute tips that you would like think, okay, if this was my first deal and if I could tell myself something right now that's like very important that I wish I would have known, what would that be?
I'll say something, you say something. You cold calling 50 leads tomorrow or the next day or something or practicing is going to whoop your butt compared to the person that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So you just got to take action, man. You got to be just stupid. Just run after it and just take action. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. Hey, how old are you?
19.
Okay. So if I know you just tuned us. By the way, how'd you find us?
I was laying on my bed right here at like 6 a.m, stayed up too late playing video games, and now I've been researching wholesale real estate for the past 6 months.
Okay.
Started off on another person's channel, but then I came across TikTok and I saw Zach's TikTok, and I was like, man, because I got the bad impression. That's why I stopped, because I thought it was like a money scheme and like or like a pyramid scheme and stuff.
I've been doing this money scheme. Yeah, I've been doing this money scheme for 20 years.
Yeah, I know.
Like, honestly, I'm one of the people that actually, my goal is to bring legitimacy to like wholesaling, because there are a lot of fly-by-night people, like people who flash cars and all this stuff. That's not going to help you at all in wholesaling. It's going to help them with their coaching courses. It won't help you at all. So my biggest thing I can tell you is at 19, I didn't do this till I was 33. So you just got a 14-year head start on me. Okay. Yeah. Number two, I had no information. I had to pay people like gobs of money that I really didn't have. And I got really bad advice. So now you have reliable people. You got me, you got Zach. You have a belief. You believe wholesaling is, what do you believe wholesaling is going to do for you?
I believe wholesaling is going to allow me to achieve not financial freedom, but more stability in my finances. Also allow me to support myself and my family. Allow me to accomplish one of my like biggest goals in life, which is to buy my mom a house full cash. Like, I have that written down in my notes. Like, that's the one goal that I want in my life.
You're in Lynchburg, that's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, the houses out here are pretty cheap, but it's still a lot of money. And to be able to do that.
Okay, you have a belief. I tell you, a belief is not enough to get you through wholesaling. You have to have like massive conviction.
You have to have that.
What are you willing to do? How many people are you willing to call to get a house for your mother?
Thousands.
Like, tell me now, how many?
Thousands, hundreds, however many it takes.
However many it takes. That's what you need. See, conviction's the thing that makes you do something, even when people are like, conviction's what makes you do something when everybody's doubting what you do. Yeah. So the problem when you have a belief and people just go like, well, that's a scam. It's it's not going to work. And then you start self-doubting your belief. You never had conviction. Conviction's like, I'm going in no matter what. I don't care. I believe in this. This is what I'm going to do. Not even family's going to change it. And family is the biggest challenge you have when you go on this journey, because they start, well, maybe you need a good job and keep it safe. Dude, I tried that route. If I haven't proven it to you, I did the full college education, everything.
Yeah.
It failed me miserably. It was okay, but like, dude, you're 19. You're only going to live once. Don't settle for a mediocre life at 19. You haven't assumed all the obligations that a lot of kids get into in their early 20s. Mm-hmm. Way ahead of the game, man. Like,
I'm so glad like you said that, because that actually hits home for me, because I've had a lot of like adult figures in my life tell me like, just get a 9 to 5, like just work a 9 to 5, work 45 hours a week and just get an apartment.
Be like you?
And I'm like, why? Just follow the same pattern that everyone
else does.
Like, I want to be.
Well, hey, try wholesaling, and hey, succeed in that. Then you don't have to.
Yeah.
You often find in life that people tell you not to do something, and then once you do it right, they'll be the ones that come back and say, I always told you you could do it.
Yeah.
That's usually how. So you're going to have to do it, be successful, and then they'll stop saying it. That's the only way is take action. So take action, man. You got this. You got everything you need.
You got it,
appreciate it, man. Can I ask you one question, Zach?
Yeah.
I just thought about it. You said you started out when you were 17, right?
Oh, yeah.
So since I'm closer to that age range, one of my things that I do think of is that people won't take me seriously because I'm like really young.
Your voice is 4 times deeper than mine when I was 17.
Honestly, that's all in your head. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because if I close my eyes, I'm not talking to a young man.
Hold on. You know this. His voice is 4 times deeper than mine when I was 17.
And you know what I told Zach
scary.
When he was 17?
What was that?
What do you care?
At the end of the day, man.
Part of your conviction again, man. Like, it's just like, and he had like a young voice. His sounded young. And is when he went in person. In person, you'll have a little bit of it, but honestly, confidence overrides age.
So be confident,
all
man.
the time. Yeah. You're fine with it. Honestly, that's 100% your head. You got to kick that one to the curb, because if I heard you on the phone, I wouldn't even question you.
Your voice is deeper than mine. Also, you have a partner who's going to help you buy the deal. And if you mention the partner, you're going to have the confidence. So, dude, take action, man.
You got it, man. You got a 14-year head start. Run with it.
Let's go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.
You got it, man. Good luck with everything.
Y'all have a good rest of the day.
Beautiful. Rebecca said, Rick and Zach, just want to let you know I spent the last hour since I got off the call with you guys, bouncing around the phone with the probate court, and finally got someone that walked me through the website, and I've access all to 2022 records. Now time to work.
It's just like, I guys, people make this business so complicated, and like we're all so programmed when we hit a door, like you just got to go the other way. And I'm just like, man, that's why you're doing what 95% of most people in the world just won't do. And it's just, you have accepted not being average, just run with it. Like just keep going, be persistence. How do you overcome resistance? 100% resistance. And then persistence turns into consistency. So Rebecca, take that what you just learned there and apply it to all facets of wholesaling, and you're going to break down doors you didn't even know you could.
Beautiful. Next here we got
It's like a black belt. We should have belts for wholesaling.
Oh yeah. Savannah, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you guys. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Rick. I really appreciate all of your just amazing info.
Of course. How can we help you out?
You know what? I have a few questions. So I'm here in Southern California, and I'm in Los Angeles County. So I've been targeting virtual wholesaling in Fresno and in Bibb County, Georgia.
Okay.
And I've been getting a lot of interested sellers in Bibb County. I'm just kind of nervous because I'm virtually wholesaling over there, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time finding a title company there and an attorney, correct? Because I need an attorney in order to do transactions over there. And
go to a Facebook group.
I know. I have. I've been looking, sorting through them and everything. I think I'm just trying to see if I can maybe JV with somebody just to get me like my foot off the ground, get started running that way. What do you think?
Sure. I just do it yourself. I mean, Savannah, this is the easiest thing to do. Go to all the Facebook groups outside of mine, search Macon, and then just Facebook message all these people and ask them which one. 40 are going to say no, 10 are going to give it to you. Boom.
Okay. And then when it comes to finding the cash buyers, just the same way I've been searching like at Gmail, and I'm just worried about I guess because I can't see the property. So
that's a limiting mindset.
Okay. I respect that. Okay. So just get it under contract for as least amount as possible. And
that's it.
Yeah. And remember, you're looking for motivated sellers, and a motivated seller, you can overcome a lot of obstacles on a property. If you don't have a motivated seller, there's very little you can overcome virtually.
Yeah. I was calling for sale by owners in Bibb, and I got a lead, and he's like, I want to sell, and I need the money. He wouldn't really go into detail why. And yeah, I'm a realtor, and I've been a realtor in California for a few years. So I kind of know when they don't want to go into the detail, it's very 50-50. Could be too good to be true, but he wants to sell before like the June 7th. And I'm just trying to, see if I can lock that in.
So the key word there is you have to identify is if he wants to sell versus he needs to sell by that date. A huge distinction.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to be 20 again. It's not happening.
Exactly.
So, he did say, he's like, I need to sell before June 7th. And I asked him,
you're going to have to pry and just say, what's going on June 7th? And just, I don't want to go into it. Okay.
Yeah, they're usually not motivated enough. So really quick, Savannah, I'll just show you this. I literally just went to Macon Real Estate Investing, whatever. She has a deal here. Narissa, Layson Knox has a deal there. Like I'm in LaGrange. Like I'm just telling you, like, all right, who we got? She got a deal. Quentin, no. Tommy said no. I'm just going through here like really quick.
No, awesome. Thank you. I'll write
Arthur has a deal with Warner Robbins. Go message him. Hey, like what person do you use? That's it. Like I literally took me 5 seconds to pull that. So
as far as JVing though, is there do you guys have a contract for that?
I wouldn't trust people for JVing. Like you're gonna get screwed. I'm just telling you, like unless you have a really trusted person.
Okay.
I get too many sad
go the cash buyer route, lock it in, and go the cash buyer route. Then
that's it. And once you do one of them, you're gonna have the confidence, and you don't have to JV anymore.
Okay. And then as far as finding a title company, just keep going on Facebook and Google.
Attorney state, but yes, use that Facebook. Literally what I just showed you.
Okay. All right, I can do that.
All right, you got it.
All right, yeah, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Of course.
Awesome.
All right, Corey, what is up?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm blessed, man. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just had some desk time the last couple days here. I had a little surgery on Tuesday, so I've just been at the desk doing. I've been on light duty for the last 2 days here.
All
I
right.
got to
Perfect.
I got to get an appointment in today though, and went on the appointment. I wanted to try to talk to you all about this deal here and kind of see what you thought about it numbers wise. I'm kind of, I guess, conflicted on how I want to do the numbers on this deal. So I was just going to give you all a breakdown on it and without disclosing any key details and see what you thought on it.
All right, let me know. What's up?
So this is and the reason why I'm having a little bit difficult time figuring out how I want to do the numbers is just because it's a little bit unique property. It's got 3 apartment units upstairs, and the downstairs at one point used to be a business that the seller owned. So the downstairs is completely vacant. You could turn the downstairs into, I mean, it's finished right now for business space, but you could turn it into another 4th unit, make a very large 4th unit out of it. But I'm looking at the numbers right now just as a triplex, which is what it is. All 3 units are occupied right now. So he told me, the seller, he wants to get $160,000 for the property. It's in good condition and everything as it sits. The problem is the rents he's collecting right now are extremely low compared for what he should be renting. He's renting like $450, and $500 for the units. So $1,400 a month. So 1% should be around $140,000. He's wanting to get 160. So I'm looking at these numbers, and and I got the expenses on the property and everything. It's a little under $4,000 a year. When I figured up the cap rate with what it's renting for right now with the expenses, it's about like 9% on the cap rate. So I'm looking at it like this. Would it be wise to market this as far as like, hey, you could raise the rents to this and be around like a 12% cap rate, or you could buy this as it sits right now? Because I'm just trying to think
What are the
about the
leases?
best way.
Are they long-term leases or is it month to month?
They're month to month.
So the month to month has a lot of value in it. If you have long-term
Right.
leases, you're kind of stuck. But
Yeah.
like in this current market environment, so what should the rents be and like what kind of condition are they in?
So all 3 units, they're all in good condition. No major work. There's one of them that's a little bit dated. It's got some wallpaper and such.
Got it.
But it has nice hardwood floor in that one. The other 2 units are nice sheetrock, nice appliances, kitchens are nice, vinyl flooring throughout, and
So
they all
what
have
should they get?
washer.
What should they get in this market without like overshooting it? You know the market.
I would say a nice conservative to where you would be able to keep a tenant. I would do $650 for the smallest one, $700 for the medium-sized unit, and $750 for the largest unit, and that comes out to $1,950 a month. So $195K. So I was thinking, I wanted to try to obviously get it for less than 160, but I'm thinking if I did get it for 160, I could probably assign it and make something if somebody would base it off of what those rents could be, at the $1,950 a month. I could at least maybe assign it for 180 or so.
It's a no-brainer, dude. Like people stand in line to buy a deal. Like people want to buy properties that they don't have to fix up and have cash flow going in it. And then they could actually take it over, give a 30 days notice and give the options. The tenant can move out or they can raise the rent.
Right. So one key question I did have about this is numbers wise, how could I factor in that downstairs unit? Because if you did spend about the $30K to change the layout and turn that into a very large 4th unit, I mean, this would be a large unit. Yeah. You could have 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, and one of the bed and bath would be like a full master suite at that point. Yeah. So you could rent that for probably $1,100 a month.
Yeah.
Remember, so should I factor that in with the numbers or?
Well, you can give them the option. Like some people are going to go, that's dynamite. Some don't want to hear about it. So what I would do is just prepare maybe a little spreadsheet for it for the person that wants to see that vision. Remember, your job as a wholesaler to get top dollar is to show them the vision.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. What freaks out most people is like if it needs a massive repair for like, plumbing, electrical and stuff like that. But if you're telling me someone could spend 30 grand if I know that 30K for me as a landlord is going to increase the rent rolls and it's going to have a huge impact for the next 20 years,
Right.
that's good. When you got to spend 30 grand on like foundation and roof,
Right.
that's not going to affect the rent. So,
Yeah.
you're
No,
right on.
structurally,
I would do
it's
exactly
good.
what you did. I would ask for a slight discount, and I would market the vision, but like the rents, like you don't want if you don't want to own it, I would just say, listen, market rents are this. Prove your
Right.
numbers. It's a month-to-month lease. Most likely, like if I took over property like that, I'd want to probably evict the tenants and just start fresh. Coat of
Yeah.
paint on it, develop that. People are looking for projects all over, man. Like you're right on with it. So run
Right.
your numbers with the new rents, and then show some backup data, and then have one spreadsheet for the visionary. People love projects, man. Everybody
Right.
wants to rehab, and they go, oh, we can live in the downstairs and rent the upstairs one. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like, as long as they're going to pay your fee, you could get
Yeah.
close to, like, honestly, you could get 195 to 200. So I always look at a worst case scenario. Can you get 180? I think
Oh,
you
yeah.
can.
I think I
So
can
like
too.
your downside's already covered. So swing for the fences on the upside and just kind of put the vision. But like, I don't know what it takes to bring it up, but I love to put money in properties that instantly goes to the rent roll,
Right.
as opposed to like roof, foundation, and stuff like that. So
Yeah. As far as like the major systems on this one, everything's in good order. He did tell me it's been a while since the roof has been done. It's not leaking, but you'd probably get about another 5 to 8 years out of it or so. And then it'd probably be a wise choice to change it at that point. But I mean, it's cash flowing right now.
yeah.
So
How'd you find the lead?
This might sound a little unconventional, but in that city, that area, I pulled a list of all the individual non-corporate owned multifamily properties, anything 2 units up.
Nice.
And that they had owned for more than 5 years. I pulled a list and I started cold calling it.
Yeah.
Just in that area, it was about 800 properties.
Yeah. And also consider marketing that property outside of your local area, because I'm telling you, there's some people go, you're telling me for 200, I can own like a triplex and renovate it and get like X amount of dollars. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like people love that stuff, though. Actually, you can attract more outside attention than a regular single family homes.
Yeah.
No
I had messaged Zach there the other day about a huge multifamily portfolio I'm working on right now. We got a price agreed on that, and it's 14 doors, man. It's serious though. It's serious.
Okay, we'll get with Zach, and we'll
I'm
if
trying,
you need some
man.
help with it, we'll talk about it.
It's getting a little crazy out there on the messaging. It's like a C now.
No, I know. We're just
to see.
Like,
I gotta get with you to get on the podcast too, but it's just getting
just hit me up whenever. I gave you my info on there.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go check it out.
Hey, Corey, how long you been doing this for?
I started in January.
Okay, so
and
guys,
I paid you $0, man. I'm doing deals, man.
So it's just, and you're gonna he gets better every day with it. You're right on track. So guys, if you pay someone 20 grand or you like learn it for free, it's up to you to take the action and do it. And honestly, like, get someone that's been doing it a long time, give you experience with it. You just have to get through your own mess sometimes. Like, it's just wholesaling is not complicated. And Corey, as you go along, you're gonna be looking at doing bigger projects and more complicated stuff. But remember, wholesaling is what got you started in it. And you just learn that basic skill set, and then you go. Don't try to take the whole house down at once. And don't sit there and study all the information. You got to go out, make calls, meet with people, talk to people, make offers. That's the difference between Corey and someone that's just sitting on the sideline trying to educate themselves.
Exactly.
And that's all it is. I mean, I go on multiple appointments a week and give multiple offers. Not every appointment and not every offer is a wholesale deal. I mean, you can't make every deal work. But I see a lot, and I was kind of like this in the start too. I thought every connection I made, I had to try to turn it into a deal, and I would stop focusing on anything except that one deal. And I've since learned, like, hey, if this ain't a deal, I'm just going to keep moving. I'll follow back up with you.
It's very freeing when you do that. Isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
it's like,
take that deal down. You got it. And
Yeah.
honestly, like, you'd be surprised what people will offer you on that deal. Like, with all the stuff you gave to me.
Yeah.
People love that stuff, man.
Oh,
So go at it. I think you know what you're doing. You don't need my advice, but I appreciate you. I think a lot of people,
always.
yeah, a lot of people learn from it. So If you cover your downside and minimize your risk, go for it. The problem is when people are buying stuff and you know you're overpaying for it and you're trying to make comps work, that's when you get in trouble. That's not wholesaling, it's speculating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not into that. I look at the numbers as they are. It's either a deal or it's not. Like one of the first things I learned from y'all's course is don't try to make a deal out of something that's not a deal.
Oh yeah,
that's what will save you. Like it's like this. Then if you do that, you become a realtor, and that's a whole nother world. So connect with Zach on that other project. I'd love to see if we can make a connection there, and then I go take this one down and pocket your 25K on it easily.
Yeah. And I will
that's
say
the bare minimum, by the way. That's not. I know you're going to get more because every time I talk to you, you typically get more than what I tell you.
I got a 20K deal on a single family home. It should be closing here in about the next 10 days or so in June. I'm just waiting on. It was a probate, so it's got some stuff with the lawyer that's just waiting to wrap up, and then we'll be closing on that. And I got another probate under contract about a week ago.
Beautiful.
So 6
love
months.
it.
I love 6 months, guys. It's just
I love the probates, man.
So cool. Okay, well, keep in touch. Good luck with everything.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good night.
See you, man.
All right, boom. Last one in order is Mr. Fernando, who is getting kicked out of the challenge because he got his first deal.
Right there.
Look at that. Oh, snap. Woo!
That's awesome, man.
Get him out of the challenge. Kick him out.
You guys know the purpose of the challenge is to give you the ultimate reward, which is freedom and like money in your pocket.
How much is that?
It's 12,500.
Come on.
How's that feel?
Woo! Great. It feels great. And it was a JV too, so it was actually a $25,000 assignment, but I JV'd it with someone.
That's awesome, man.
But it feels great. I went over to pick up the check right now, and just want to say thank you. Like that was awesome, man. Like,
oh my God, dude.
Love it, man.
Like I guess the only question I have now is like, what do I do now? What do I do now with this money?
Repeat, rinse. How did you get that deal?
Driving for dollars and cold calling. That list.
So same thing.
Yeah.
Except we're gonna go harder on that, man. I would invest. How do you drive for dollars? You use an app?
Yeah, I use the PropStream app.
So keep doing that, man.
Okay.
It's a good app.
Bro, I would just keep pushing it hard, man.
I do have a question. I want to do the sticky notes stuff. Can I literally do the sticky notes on like for example, like my code violation list? Can I do sticky notes on all those?
Yep.
Too?
Yeah.
Like for example, you got list REI on there. I would just pop up the like the utility lien list.
Okay.
And then the Driving for Dollars app. You got to figure it out, but like it'll tell you where to go. And you're like, okay, boom. And then you can just stick it. So like one cool thing, like I always like tell everyone to do is so go utility liens, and then it'll be like this market. You're driving there. While you're driving there, drive for dollars, right? Drive for dollars around the area. Boom.
Yeah.
So dude, sticky notes on everything.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm gonna start doing that. And I guess like you said, like I think I heard y'all say this a while ago, but like if something works, just triple down on that. And I think that's what I'm gonna do.
That's it, man. Like you gotta keep it simple, dude.
You know, when you get in trouble, when you start experimenting on things like you're not used to, and you're like,
gosh,
I'll pay this guy $500 and they're gonna help me do that. And that's when you get your clock clean. So just keep doing what you're doing and stack up the checks and stay super humble and act like you're broke now.
Yeah. Fernando, how old are you?
22. I mean 20. I just turned 23. Never mind.
23, man.
There you go.
Don't let it go to your head. Keep it going, man. You're fine, dude.
First of many. You just gotta keep stacking them up. I'm just telling you, just gotta, and then understanding as how you manage the 12 grand is going to be the same way you manage $12 million.
Yeah.
Like it's a psychology. They'll prove it. Give someone $10,000, give them $1 million. Whatever you learned with the 10,000, you're going to do the exact same with the million because it's a discipline and a mindset. So I'm just going to encourage you now. I didn't have it, dude. Like I went nuts. Like I made a lot of money and I spent everything, and I learned the hard way. And I'm here to tell you, I'm much more humble now. I'm just telling you, if freedom becomes from being able to do whatever you want, and you start like committing to obligations and crazy things. I'm talking financially.
For sure.
It's a prison that you have to work harder and harder to get out of.
Fernando, if there was something I knew you could spend 12,000 that would help you, I would.
Yeah.
There isn't. Like Driving for Dollars and cold calling's work. You got to expand that more. That's it, you know?
So get the 12K to 100K.
Yeah.
And then you just keep stepping up. And that's how I've moved along the entire time. But remember, at the end of the day, it's what you guys keep is going to be the priority on how you impact your life and your family's life.
Exactly.
I got that. I know. And I appreciate y'all telling me that, you know, it keeps me grounded, obviously. But I do have this like thing in my head, another mindset question, I guess, is like, for some reason, I don't know why, I feel like I got lucky on this one because it was within like the first 200 driving for dollars leads. So I don't know if, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just got lucky with that. Is that normal, or is that just, you know what I mean?
It's like baseball, man. You hit a good, you hit it, right? Yeah. Like it's like a batting average. Like a home run your first like second pitch. Okay. Well, I mean, you got an average over time. So
it won't be that easy every time, but like if your conviction's there, you'll get through it. So it might take you 1,000 or 1,500 leads to get through the next one. Like
let's make 100K and then we'll get our own averages from there.
You've already proven the theory. You just got to get through it and you'll be fine. I'm just telling you, man. I remember the first time we did a deal, I go, okay, I got lucky. The second one was like, okay, I got lucky again. The third time was like, I don't understand how I keep getting this. And here I am 20 years later. You know what my biggest fear was? I was never going to get another deal. My first 3 years of doing this, I'm like, I'm never going to get another deal. I just constantly got deals over and over, only because I marketed, I talked to sellers. I'm an old school door knocker, dude. Like I did old school. And I hated every minute of it, but I knew what I had to do to get a deal. I knew it was the fastest way because I didn't have any money.
The more you market, the more work you put in this business, the luckier you get. That's the way you got to look at it.
Okay.
Luck is created, dude. Like I'm just like,
oh yeah.
You get lucky when like the truck just barely misses you on the side of the road. That's luck. That's divine intervention. What you're doing, you put you in the path to intersect that deal, and it works. So now you just got to create more intention to do it, and you're just going to get luckier and luckier.
Boom.
Okay. Well, thank you guys a lot. Appreciate you.
Man.
Let's see if I'm lucky for number 2.
You will be.
You got it, man. Keep
okay.
it up.
Awesome, man.
Thank you guys.
Oh. Awesome. Man, love seeing that, right? So guys, the stuff works. Go to freewholesaling.com. It's all there, guys. If you are in the back trying to talk to us one-on-one, get started. We talk to people on a first come, first serve basis. Rick will talk to you guys tomorrow, and we'll remember you get the names and hop you guys on.
Jack, hop on tomorrow. I'll be on here at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, and all these people. So guys,
wow. Oh my God, there's a whole nother row.
So guys, hop on. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh, Rick will talk to you tomorrow, and we'll break it down, guys. So go freewholesaling.com and let's get it.